Welcome back to Crypto Meets AI. Gary here with an update for you. Do me a favor, friends. Smash that like button, hit subscribe, and comment down below. Now let's get into this. We're sitting at $2.89, just barely under 290. I feel like I've just said this like in the last video, and we're having a deja vu moment here, but it's what it says. We're up about 1%, trading within a range of 285 to 291. We need to break up above that 290 with some good volume, push through into $3 and turn that into support. We'll monitor it and see where we go from here. Hi, friends. This is a reminder that there are 1,700 contracts pending disclosure. No financial institution in the world has ever achieved this. Only Ripple. Do you understand the magnitude of this company, and especially of XRP, the best asset in the world? When Brad says onions and drops a checkmate, he's telling us the layers are coming off. NDA by NDA. Every pill exposes the truth. Ripple already has the board controlled. 1,700 plus corridors, banks, and partners under wraps. And when those NDAs lift, the world will see the pieces were aligned long ago. This isn't about if, it's about when the reveal comes. And when it does, that's checkmate for the old guard. Every 80 to 100 years, societal tectonic shifts reshape the world through the creation of new norms. Market swings and fortunes shift. Participate wisely and let the pendulum run its course. Exposure matters. XRP, XLM, HBAR, SHX, VLO, XDC, Algo, Quant, gold, silver, platinum. Now let's go down that old rabbit hole. 18. The European Central Bank launches TIPS, Target Instant Payment Settlement. On the surface, it looked like a retail upgrade. Instant Euro payments 24/7, but look closer. The vocabulary, the timing, and the NDAs tell another story, one that points directly to Ripple and the XRP ledger. The official ECB release, November 2018, said, TIPS allow citizens and firms to transfer money in real time, 24/7, 365 days a year. Most people stopped reading there. But buried in the technical annexes were phrases like liquidity optimization across multi-currency corridors, protocol-neutral settlement frameworks, compliance metadata inseparable from transaction finality. If you've read Ripple's NDAs, you know those words are not accidental. The context matters. In 2017, PSD2 forced banks to open APIs and upgrade payment systems. By 2018, the ECB had to prove it could deliver infrastructure to support that regulatory mandate. RippleNet was already being pitched as a PSD2 compliant. TIPS was the institutional parallel, and the overlap in vocabulary is undeniable. I attended an ECB consultation in Brussels in late 2018. Ripple was in the room, not branded as crypto, but as a real-time growth settlement via neutral bridge assets. The slide deck didn't say XRP, it said neutral asset layer enabling deterministic finality. Those of us who'd seen Ripple's internal decks recognized it immediately. The NDA clauses were even more explicit. One draft I reviewed in London read, distributed settlement infrastructures may be evaluated under TIPS and PSD2 frameworks, provided they remain regulatory auditable, ISO 222 native, and identity anchored. That's banker speak for XRPL is in scope. Why does this matter? Because TIPS wasn't just about euros. It was built to support cross-border FX corridors. My annexes spoke of multi-currency interoperability, real-time FX conversion mechanisms, and net liquidity optimization. This is exactly Ripple's domain. Evidence trail that ties it all together. ECB speeches 2018-2019 emphasized instant settlement across currencies. BIS reports 2019 adopted Ripple's vocabulary, atomic settlement, deterministic finality. Vendor Muse redacted reference bridge asset pilots under strict confidentiality. Every breadcrumb aligns. The intellectual leap is this. TIPS was never about citizens paying coffee shops faster. It was a regulatory rehearsal for neutral settlement protocols. Retail was just the justification. Institutional liquidity orchestration was the mission. I know because I was in the compliance reviews. The ECB's public line, TIPS equals instant euros. The private line, TIPS equals foundation for multi-currency corridors, identity anchored, regulatory auditable. And in that vocabulary, Ripple's fingerprints are unmistakable. Connecting the dots. 2017, PSD2 opens the APIs. 2018, ECB launches TIPS with protocol-neutral language. Ripple's already pitching to ECB workshops. NDAs reference ISO 220 native, identity-anchored settlement protocols. By 2019, BIS reports echoes Ripple's architecture. This isn't coincidence, it's choreography. I will release redacted excerpts from those NDAs, clauses that mention identity-anchored corridors, liquidity orchestration under PSD2 and TIPS, protocol-agnostic bridges. They won't say XRP, but if you know the language, you'll see the truth. Stay close, my friends. HSBC is working with IBM, investing in and exploring how quantum computing can support algorithmic trading and solve issues in finance. Hedera HBAR has been exploring quantum applications for years, working with SealsQ plus WiseKey on quantum projections. IBM is on the Hedera Council.
Quantum technology is going to have a very significant impact on the financial services industry. It's a very exciting time within this field because we're at this point of discovery. We're trying to forge a path that there is no blueprint for.
The partnership with HSBC has been about how can we use quantum computing to look at problems in the financial space.
Quantum computers are starting to become useful tools to explore modeling of financial markets, and in particular in the quantitative investment space.
Algorithmic trading refers to using computer programs to automatically execute trades, usually with predefined rules, market data, and certain strategies. And this is done with almost no human interaction.
We're able to work out a problem that we actually have in real-world trading. So this is something that we do thousands of times a day already, and that's estimating the likelihood of winning a trade.
The business problem concerns the optimization of trade orders of corporate bonds and how likely they would be executed. And the estimation of that likelihood is unfortunately exposed to significant errors.
What we've demonstrated here is the ability to do something with a quantum computer in a hybrid workflow that we just cannot replicate using classical computing alone. What we've effectively shown here is up to 34% improvement in predicting whether an order will be fulfilled. We aren't able to compare to that number using classical only methods. And what that ultimately means is increased margins and greater liquidity. This is the single most important achievement of the HSBC quantum program to date.
Quantum computing and AI is going to play a big part, a major role in the future. I'm not sure people realize how big AI and quantum computing is going to change the way people live. CME crowns XRP fastest 1 billion futures ever. Open interest to smash past 1 billion in record time. Options plus micro futures launch October 13th. Wall Street is now officially playing the XRP game. XRP just made Wall Street history. Forget meme coins. This is institutional money. 1 billion plus open interest in less than 4 months. 16 billion notional traded. Daily OL in August, 942 million. CME says XRP is now in the same league as Bitcoin and Ethereum. October 13th equals Wall Street's green light. Next up, options on XRP futures and micro contracts. This is Wall Street's playground, hedging, structured bets, and liquidity injections. When these tools arrive, ETFs often follow. The history playbook, 2017, CME Bitcoin futures, Bitcoin ETF path unlocked. 2021, CME ETH options, Ethereum ETF followed. 2025, XRP becomes the fastest 1 billion contract in CME history. History is screaming ETF next. Price target map, where this could lead. Base, $5 to $8 ETF pricing zone. Bullish, $12 to $22 super cycle flows. Moonshot, $25 to $33 plus if ETF plus global adoption plus macro liquidity align. Risk, $1 retrace if macro collapses. But the setup right now equals institutional accumulation phase. Why this is huge? Derivatives equals the engine room of ETFs. Create liquidity pools, tighten spreads, pressure SEC into approvals. BTC futures equals ETF. ETH options, ETF. XRP, fastest 1 billion ever, ETF should happen. Retail is still asleep. Wall Street positioning, hedging, and building plays. Retail arguing on X about meme coins. When the ETF headlines hit, the real FOMO begins. Early bird wins, laggards chase. The verdict, CME just gave XRP its biggest Wall Street validation since SEC clarity. October 13th equals the real starting gun. The question isn't if XRP joins the ETF club, it's how soon. Will you be early or late? Comment down below and tell me what you guys think. Do we have an XRP ETF on the horizon? Citi will integrate its blockchain platform, Citi Token Services, with USD clearing to provide 24/7 instant cross-border payments between banks for institutional clients in the US and UK. I gotta say it, my friends, the institutions are here. It's right out of the UN's Agenda 2030. Dr. René Hoenderkamp Brickcard, the UK's new mandatory digital ID is about surveillance and control. The next step on from here is digital money, all linked to your digital ID. Step out of line, say something they don't like, and they'll switch you off. No travel, no car, no spending, no life. And if you agree with it, you're agreeing to shackle yourself to a life without an ounce of freedom henceforth. Let's hear what she has to say.
Okay, so welcome to Orwell's Britain. Labour is pushing digital ID hard, and they say it's going to control migration. But France and Germany have digital ID, and they've got record migration, so that's a lie. They also say it's going to control the black market economy. But the whole point of the black market economy is that you don't get asked for your ID. So that's a lie as well. So if it isn't going to do the things that they say it's going to do and why they want it, why do they want it? And why are they using threats to implement it? Starmer said very clearly and menacingly yesterday, you will not work in the UK if you don't have a digital ID. So I won't be able to work, feed my family, house them over my dead body. Try it, Keir. So we already have a national insurance number. You cannot, without that number, get a bank account, rent a house, hire a lawyer for anything. You can't do anything without a national insurance number. So we have the security that we need to check our ID. So if it isn't about security, what's it about? It's about surveillance and control. It's right out of the UN's Agenda 2030. There was a dry run in COVID. Do you remember COVID, where you couldn't eat out, get on a plane, go to university? For some people, go to work without flashing your QR code on your phone. Well, let's extrapolate that a bit further. You dare to criticise migration or net zero. You dare to say that a man cannot be a woman. By the way, he can't. And you dare to raise the flag and be proud of it. You might find yourselves very quickly via your digital ID penalised, and already we have 35 people a day in the UK who are being arrested for offensive speech. So the next step on from here is digital money. I've been saying it for ages, it's coming. Your wages, your savings, your spending, your travel, all linked to your digital ID. Step out of line, say something they don't like, and they will switch you off. No travel, no car, no spending, no life. This is the Fabian autocrat's wet dream, headed by Tony Blair. And if you agree to it, you are agreeing to shackle yourself to a life without an ounce of freedom henceforth.
I guess there's nothing left to say. She said it all right there. Well, that's what I have for you folks. Until next time, stay savvy, stay stacking, and I'll catch you in the next one. If you enjoyed this, smash that like button, hit subscribe, and comment down below. And if you want more crypto deep dives, check out our videos right here on Crypto Meets AI. Thank you for watching. Remember to always do your own research. This is not financial advice.